Hey, I'm Kev, welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Ryder career. It's heading into the final third of the season. Patrick McDonald is just about clinging on to his Moto2 title chances, but he needs to start winning, beginning round the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. Well, I should say winning consistently, as he has won 4 of the last 6 races since changing to the Interwetter machine alongside Thomas Luthi, but after just winning 1 race in the first third of the season, it definitely left him on the back foot. And he's already on the back foot of his first qualifying effort round this very tricky circuit. All about rhythm and slow speeds in the first part, and then really opens up in the second half of it. A bit like the Saxon Ring. But for Patrick McDonald, maybe this is just a learning year in Moto2. Maybe he'll go for the title next season. We will see. He needs some luck with Franco Morbidelli, championship leader, running into issues, with Alex Marquez, his teammate as well, and with the KTM, Miguel de Vieira. Maybe not getting the top results either. If Patrick does win out, like he did in Moto3, then there may still be a chance. But like I said, it's a very outside chance for the Kenyan to grab another title, his 3rd in a row. That would be something. I don't think anyone's ever done that, actually. Going up to MotoGP level, at least in the modern era. And here we go, the fast parts through these fast sweeping right-handers. Braked way too much for the first part. Gets it down to 3rd though. For the 3rd right, then the final right is a hairpin. Nicely into the apex from McDonald. Now the penultimate corner just let off slightly. Nicely in that apex. And the final corner very tricky. Got to brake earlier than you sink into it, so you can really maximise the exit like McDonald did there. And it looks like he's going to do a 40. 40.7 for his first ever. Not too bad. But he can do much better than that. He probably will have to do much better than that as well, as the other competitors start to come out on the start of his 2nd qualifying effort. 2nd and final qualifying effort. It won't be like Austria, where he messed up his first 2 efforts, so had to do a 3rd one. We go on to the back straight. Nice rhythm in the first part. Look at that, half a second quick already. Might need to be in the 38s maybe. High 38s. We'll see. As he gets it into the hairpin, that rear tyre locking up again. Not very good on the powers. Baldassarre goes a 10th of a second faster than McDonald so far. Oh, look at that. 8/10 faster than his previous lap. Just going quicker all the time in his 2nd effort. This is why he does 2 qualifying laps. McDonald up first is very much a sighter. Just see what he can do. And then on the 2nd one, he does gain speed. When he starts to attack more, as he goes a bit wide in the final part. Look at 1.2 faster than Baldassarre though. It's a mid 39 at least. As he gets it a bit wrong into the penultimate corner. Into the final corner. Nice hit in that apex. Nice and smooth on the power. Ruin getting out slightly. But that's a 39.1. And it is easily quickest than anyone else. Look at almost a second faster than Alex Marquez. He's on a MotoGP machine. GP machine, McDonald, where everyone was stuck on a Moto2 one with Morbidelli in 3rd. Then his teammates right behind him on the grid, leading the second ahead of Oliveira and Passini and Baldassarre, Nekigami and Shirota, and Xavi ran out the top 10 with Iker right at the back. I think he's always been at the back, the Spaniard, so far this season. But for McDonald, he's all about winning. Let's see if he can back up this qualifying performance. So here we are looking at a magnificent grid with lights still at the top, with Luthi right behind as well. We've got Baldassarre, number 7 in 7th. You can be very happy with that. And then further back outside the top 12, you've got Coro in 13, Pons leading the 6th row, Simon leading the 7th, then Raffin leading the 8th row. Then you've got Brad Binder leading the 9th row, Nakashima leading the 10th, and Locatelli leading the last row alongside Manzi and Iker. As McDonald revs up the engine on the good rain for the lights to appear. and go out for this 7-lap race. Can he get off to a good start? It's not a long run to the first corner. He's taking the middle of the road. And it looks like he has held off the Mark VDS twins behind and his teammate. Being very smooth and gentle on the brakes. And being on the throttle as well. As oh, here comes Marquez taking a little nut maybe. Now McDonald holds him off. But here comes Marquez down the inside into the right. Forces Marquez a bit wide as McDonald kind of pinched the corner. And onto the back straight, he just about holds off that assault from the Spaniard. But could be the first of many this race. Let's go into the hairpin. Very easy to run wide here. You can take multiple lines as well. McDonald trying to get on the power, but the rear tyre not complying. Once again, we've got medium front and rear. And oh, here comes Marquez again, pushing McDonald wide. That was Morbidelli through into the lead. What are you doing, Marquez? Then his teammate get the upper hand, and now he's getting a slipstream off his teammate. That's still side by side in the right-hander. McDonald finally takes back the lead, does he? Diving down the inside of Morbidelli. Now Marquez is back. And now here comes Oliveira pushing McDonald wide. And here's Luti as well. I was hoping for a nice clean race, but now everyone is trying to railroad him in the final half of the lap. He's trying to hold off from his teammate as he comes to the end of it. So it's the Mark VDS twins who lead ahead of Oliveira, with McDonald down to 4th, holding off his teammate. He goes into the back of him. What is Luti doing? What is Oliveira doing? Going very wide. Allows McDonald down the inside back into 3rd. That's 1 place back as he runs very wide on the exit. Taking a very tight line into the right hand. And here comes Oliveira again pushing McDonald wide. Not again cutting off another rider. As he goes very wide onto the back straight. Going round the outside of Marquez, who for some reason is protecting Morbidelli this race, it looks like. He does know he can still win the title, Alex. As McDonald leaves that hairpin nice and smooth. Goes slightly wide in the right-handers though. And there goes Marquez for the lead down the inside of Morbidelli. And this is just on maximum attacking, it's like. Let's see if McDonald can settle into 3rd then, as he head into the fast sweepers. First right. Tempted to widen it down the inside of Morbidelli into the 2nd. Maybe into the hairpin. Now backing off on this 2nd lap. But he is right there with Oliveira behind. That's a good thing for McDonald. Let's head towards the final corner, the 2nd lap. Using the bike in towards the apex. Now the tyres, up the temperature, so the brakes. Let's see if McDonald can push these middle laps. And so he gets a superb run of Morbidelli. And then the Italian pushes him wide. But see McDonald did the fast lap, that opening lap, or that 2nd lap. Still got Oliveira right in his tail as well. That's not a very good right-hander. But he's often good on this left-hander, heading onto the back straight. And he is again. Let's see if he gets the slipstream off both of these Mark VDS bikes. Definitely getting off Morbidelli. Has a little nick into the hairpin, but Morbidelli has bigger plans. Pushes his teammate wide. Takes back the lead. Very uncompromising from the Italian. But that is why he is the championship leader by a mile. While everyone else is chasing him. But Marquez gets him back on the exit. The 2nd right-hander. McDonald got great view here. Should be getting the popcorn out. Let's see if he starts pushing on the next lap as he goes into the halfway mark of this race, almost into the back of Morbidelli. He's going to the hairpin. Is he going to make a move? Nick's down the inside, trying to get him on the exit. Rear tyre not really complying, but he does get into 2nd. He's inserted himself into this in-house battle. Now into the final corner. And you get a smooth exit, you get some slipstream on Marcus heading into the first corner of the fourth lap. Next to the outside of Alex. And here comes Morbidelli with a massive dive. But it's all about McDonald and Marquez. They touch. McDonald trying to push Marquez. Right, here comes Morbidelli to take advantage of it. As they all break, almost 3 wide into the tight right-hander. No, down the inside, Marquez pushes him onto the dirt. Oh, they're bashing again. McDonald holds on round the outside and takes back the lead halfway through this race. Now can he hold on to it? Man, he had to work for that. As he goes slightly wide, Morbidelli pushing him wide. Well, they're side by side into the right. Into the first right. Into the second right. Morbidelli runs wide. McDonald tries to take the lead. Here comes Marcus though down the inside. The elbow to elbow heading into the fast right hand sweepers. But McDonald holds it round the outside. Olivier up to third ahead of Morbidelli. Very good for the championship. If Morbidelli's off the podium. But McDonald, after a feisty battle, takes back the lead. Now can he put away in the remaining 3 laps of this race? As it looks like Morbidelli's now embroiled in a fight with Miguel Oliveira, the KTM. And maybe Alex Marquez has got some breathing room on his teammate as well. To go on to the 5th lap. The lead of almost a second for McDonald. Really is starting to push now. It's the Kenyan. Just had a couple laps there. Looking at the vying teammates. Then when he got down and dirty, he made sure it counted. Let's go through this first sector. These are 10th in that first sector. With Oliveira in third. Morbidelli's off the podium at the moment. But easing the bike into this hairpin, he's been locking up that rear tyre a bit. That's much better with Oliveira up to second head of Marquez. From looking like it was going to be a 1-2 for most of this race. Not VDS pair, battling for a podium place now. With the KTM of Oliveira coming alive once again in a second half of a race. Really does know how to manage his bike, the tyres. Superb racecraft from Oliveira. As all McDonald runs wide in the third right-hander. Gets into the hairpin. He's got over a second gap though, and the KTM behind. Doesn't have to worry too much. As he has made his break at the front. That's not a very good final corner running wide. Not a good run down this front stretch heading on to the penultimate lap of the race. But consistent in the 1 minute 40s. Oliveira second and a half back. And that was the fastest lap from McDonald. Definitely does get into a good rhythm. And that's the Kenyan. He's working well with this bike. Should have won in Sachsenring. But messed up. Should have won in Silverstone. But messed up. Doesn't look he's missing up here. We've got 1.7 seconds in the lead now. Definitely is cruising in the zone. This is what he needs to be for every race this season. Including the longer Valencia race. As Marquez passed Olivier for second, the battle is still raging behind. But Morbidelli's not part of it, and it's like in fourth. As he dropped back. And now it looks like it's Marcus and Oliveira back then. It's got the helicopter hovering overhead. Just hovering. It looks like not really moving about. So there it gets past Marcus into the fast sweepers. Very brave from the KTM. So a little bit slightly wide there. He's now 2 seconds in the lead. You can see his opponents to the right hand side as well. Going to the penultimate corner. Is that helicopter lost? I saw he was going in the other direction. We just went by. Let's head on to the final lap. Well, it's been a very exciting Misano race. Get my Italian circuits mixed up. 2.3 second lead for McDonald. Just has to keep it nice and tidy. You can see front tyre around halfway worn, rear tyre around third of the way worn. So not an issue with these medium tyres. That's all. That's a bit too much curb, McDonald. Just want to be skipping them. Don't want to be launching the bike over them. But still a 2.3 second gap behind. Doesn't have to watch out into the hairpin. But unlike Mugello, doesn't it? Like McDonald's the one who's been making the mistakes. Looks like the Mark VDS pair maybe pushed it too hard in the opening half of this race. Scored with each other. They had McDonald in, they had Oliveira in, and it's cost them a 1-2. There's the next sight. The Interwetten and KTM will be getting that honour and helping their championship chances massively. Same with Marcus as well, gaining points on his teammate, the Morbidelli. Morbidelli's still got a comfortable gap in the championship, leaving this race, but might have to start looking over his shoulder. He's going into the final corner. Patrick McDonald doesn't have to do that. He has rode beautifully. After a fantastic qualifying effort, he does back it up in the race. And it's his 5th victory with this team, his 6th for this season. Superb ride once again, 3.5 seconds ahead of Oliveira with Marcus in third. Morbidelli in 4th, just holding off Lutti in the end. He really did drop back the Italian, just by 2 tenths ahead of the Swiss rider. Then got Piscini, Baldassari, Bagnaia, Zavi and Courtois around out the top 10 of Nakagami, Axel Pons, Isaac Vinales with a good race in 13th, head of Shirota and Simone Corsi grabbing a point on that speed up ahead of Danny Kent with Andrea Locatelli at the back. So in the championship, Morbidelli still has a comfortable lead, but it's just 16 points to Miguel Oliveira, who's jumped up to second ahead of Marquez by 2 points. And there's Patrick McDonald in for 39 points back. The dream is definitely still alive with Lutti in for 5 points ahead of Piscini, and they've got Baldassari, Bagnaia, Nakagami up to 9th ahead of Zavi, with Marini dropping out of the top 10 by a single point. Further down, you got the Suter of Shirota up to 17th ahead of Sorin, and Isaac Vinales is up to 90th ahead of Brad Binder and Remy Gardner. As in the constructors standings, it's a 72-point lead for Calix over KTM, with Suter now in 3 figures in third, with Tech 3 in 4th, 26 points behind, and Speedo up to 12 points in 5th. And yes, I think it's very much relief for McDonald heading into the final third of this season. He's rolling now. We need to keep it up. Perfect reputation weekend. And let's see if we can have another perfect weekend on the 3rd visit to Spain this season around the Misano and Aragon circuit. As this is another circuit where it might be hard to break away from the pack. But Mill definitely did that in Misano. Let's see if we can get a top-notch qualifying effort in once again over these 2 laps. Found a very tricky circuit, actually kind of similar to Misano with how slow it is and how fast it can get. As you see, that back straight heading into the final couple of corners. Very quick. Go for the right-hander. And this circuit is very tricky, especially with the curbing. Don't want to be hitting any of these curves, really. As though he runs wide, almost onto the curb. He's going to the double left. Well, it's a fantastic circuit as well, this Aragon circuit, with undulation. Good mix of challenging corners. You've got these tight corners, and you've got, of course, the faster corners coming up. Well, sweepers and the roller coaster. Through the right and into the left. Look how difficult it is to break into that left-hander. Very tricky for the Bright. Then this long right left-hander. Now we head into a very tricky section. Downhill braking, blind braking as well. And oh, he's locked up the rear as McDonald. He's gone wide. He's blowing this qualifying effort. Let's see what we can do on the second one then. Let's go into the right. Then the left. Fantastic action on this bike. Getting it from having to go wide out of that right hander to having to go right into that left hander. Fantastic turn there. But here we go, preparing for the final couple of corners. Virtually touch 180 miles per hour. And going wide and just checking the power. So go flat out towards this line, and it's not a very good effort. First time around 53.9 for McDonald's. Actually, you never know. We said that in Misano wasn't a very good effort. Then, as you saw from McDonald, he definitely ruled the roost by a country mile. Unfortunately, he's got some traffic on his second lap. Gets past his teammate. So you go into the left-hander. Definitely a circuit that does pay off. You're attacking the corners as McDonald's doing there. Look at that, a second up already. That first sector. Really does show that first effort. Maybe it was a bit slow. Let's go downhill into the right. Now into the left. Maybe a bit too tight for McDonald, a bit too cautious. So we go through to the left again, a bit cautious, getting onto the power. Now it's all about the braking into this left-hander. Got it wrong the first lap. That's much better. Again, like Kota, don't want to be hitting the apex of that corner like that left hand at the end of the back straight, because if you do, you run into trouble on the Moto2 bike. Let's now go onto the back straight. 1.7 seconds faster, McDonald. This is looking very good for a low 52, maybe a high 51. We can nail these last couple of corners. No, definitely be talking. As Morbidelli only does a 53 and Nakashima's down. That's a fantastic run through the final corner. Short shift up to fourth to get that smooth application of power. And a 52.3. It's definitely good enough for a pole. A second in a row in this episode. And look at that. He's 6/10 faster than Morbidelli and Marcus, who share the front row with him. And Luti, the only other guy dipping into the 52s, leads the second row ahead of Olivia and Passini, then Baldassare, Nekigami, Shorter, and Savvy rounds out the top 10 with Ika right at the back in his home round. So for Patrick McDonald, can he make it a very successful couple of rounds? So here we are looking at the grid with lights still ahead of Magnum. Luti in fourth. Actually, a very similar grid, isn't it, to the last time out, as we've got Danny Kent and Marini just outside the top 10. Then Corto, Agata and Bagnaia, Pollen, Serwin and Isaac Vinales looking to back up his very good result. Misano in 18th. Looking for down this Corsi in 23rd. Watch out for him battling for points on that speed up. And then usual suspects at the back. So here we go, revving up the engine, wait for the lights to appear. And go out for this 6-lap race. And just like Misano, McDonald heading to the first corner around the outside. But it looks like he's held on into the left-hander. Let's go into the right. Looks like he's held on again from the Mark VDS pair behind. So very good start for Patrick McDonald. Oh, a bit wide into the left though. Had to check up again on the power there in case he's spun up the rear wheel. As he's got Morbidelli behind ahead of Marquez. Home fans really will not be happy. The result at the moment. Their hero Marquez down in third. Lungebredo of Mark. Definitely is their new hero. Go for the roller coaster for the first time with this 6-lap race. Oh, and they won't be happy again with Livio ahead of Marquez now. Up into third. As he brakes very cautiously into this left-hander. Very nicely taken though from McDonald. That's Corsi. Build him up on the grid. He falls already, does the Italian on that speed up. As it goes, that's one of the most important corners on the circuit because it leads into this run down this back straight, heading into the final couple of corners. And with a half-second gap behind to Morbidelli, well, might be under trouble, under braking into this left-hander. Not these, because he outbrakes himself and runs slightly wide. But in this, like, he does hold off the Italian, heading on to the second lap. He's held on to the lead this time tonight, Misano. Needs almost a second of the Italian. Might be a one-man show from McDonald once again. And just when the pressure's building on him, he really is delivering. He's done it in the last couple of championships. He's shown it again in Moto 2. Definitely has that clutch trait that the likes of Marc Marquez, Valentino Rossi in his pomp, McDowell, all the greats have. When they're under pressure, they perform. Look, he's got over a second gap already to Morbidelli. That's the bad thing, though, about this championship. Morbidelli being in second, he's not taking that many points off the Italian. It's not like Misano. He needs the Italian off the podium once again to be really back into this championship. And here comes Marcus to maybe do it. Head of Oliveira up into third. Now, if those two are battling, they may enable Morbidelli to get away from them. Go into the left-hander. And there's Marquez up into second. And now Olivier ahead of Morbidelli. Morbidelli's off the podium once again. This will be a fantastic result for the championship. It's like this. Oh no! McDonald down over the curb. As he got two groups of three out in head. It's McDonald down to 7th. That curb in the past, we have seen mess up riders, and it's done it once again. And then it's like Bagnaia trying to have a look into the penultimate corner. All going a bit tight to hold him off, though. And now he's got to push like a hell for the remaining 4 laps of this race if he wants another victory. If he has to get another victory as well. Beginning with getting past Pacini, Luti in front. And it's like Baldassari as well, the Italian. He's got Marini and Savi battling for 9th behind. And it is Baldassari holding 4th, it looks like. And then we've got the top 3 of Marquez, Morbidelli and Oliveira. So we're all over a curb once again. Oh, dropping, and the bike stays upright. He's into the roller coaster. Now he's already caught up to the first group of 3. Let's see if we get a good run through this left-hander. Not too bad as Morbidelli takes the lead from Marquez in front. That's not a good sign. He's got Bagnaia 1.7 seconds behind in 8th. McDonald really pushing. Look at this. Looking down the inside, Pacini. Can't go over that curb though. So have to settle for the slipstream down his back straight off the Italian. He's not getting a lot off Luti though. As they're going 3 wide for the lead in front. McDonald up to 6th though. Behind his teammate now. He's been held up by Baldassari, looks like. As out the final corner, superb run for McDonald past Luti. As he go into the second half of the race. The one looking down the inside of Baldassari pushes the Italian right. As he sets the fastest lap. Chasing after the top 3 and Baldassari just blocking McDonald as payback. And again, Baldassari very slow. He gets away with it though. With a little touch of the Italian. Or does he? Look at this Baldassari launch himself down the inside into the left-hander. not in the script. So McDonald into 5th, but you can see the top 3 right in front. Well, he's got a Italian roadblock in front. Now his teammate wants an attack. What is Luti doing? You're meant to back up your teammate. And now here comes Piscini as well. Everyone wanted to attack McDonald once again. It's like the first lap in Misano. But he does go down the inside of his teammate back into 5th. Now can he get the slipstream off Baldassarri? They might be lost in that battle as Piscini gets past Luti. Maybe calmer for the Swiss rider. You can see Olivia's dropped back from the top 2, the Mark VDS pair. It looks like in front as they're battling for the victory. But here comes McDonald on Baldassarri. Got a superb slipstream. Down the inside into the left. Blocks off the Italian as well. That's for that move into the other left-hander. So he's into 4th at least. He's just got the top 3 in front, heading on to the penultimate lap of the race. Well, he's got a second gap to Oliveira in front. He's got a further second gap, it looks like, to the top 2. Piscini battling with Luti like hell for 6th. But McDonald with a superb on the KTM. Looking down the inside into the left-hander. Trying to hold it around the outside, but loses the traction on the rear tyre. Doesn't want to get into another slinging match with a rider. Just wants to cleanly get past him easily and quickly. But Olivier is holding him off. Look at that, you can see the top 2 right in front. Oh, Olivier not with a good run through the long right left-hander though. Here comes McDonald with a bit of a slipstream as well. Has to go through the right now. Right on the tail of Oliviera. Almost into the back of him. Digging down the inside. Gets back 3rd. Now there's a second half gap to Morbidelli in front. He's battling with Alex Marquez. Spaniard wanted to get a home victory, grab more points off his teammate, and grab that 2nd in the championship. Let's head on to the final lap. An exciting Aragon race. And a superb run for McDonald down this start-finish straight onto the final lap. 2nd gap in front. Already got half a second gap behind to Oliveira. Tyres are in good nick as well. Around halfway worn, front and rear. And here comes McDonald already. Nicking to the inside of Morbidelli. He's nicking to the inside of Marquez. Gets all over the curve. Look at that, just 6/10 off the race victory. Here's McDonald on this final lap. Been a superb recovery after that crash. Takes a very tight line, but gets a good exit, it looks like. Through the long left. Not many corners left for McDonald to make the move. As it looks like Marquez has got the widest Moto2 bike you've ever seen. So cuts in front of Morbidelli. And cuts in front of Marquez. He takes back the lead. But can he hold on into the penultimate corner? Quarter of a second gap. They both have some superb slipstream heading into this long left-hander. And here comes Marquez. McDonald holds him off, but outbrakes himself. He's trying to go around the outside. Will Marcus win? Will McDonald win? It's a race to the line. I don't know who won. Was it Marquez? I said it's definitely Morbidelli in third. It was by 17 thousandths of a second. With Oliveira in fourth, Baldassarre fifth, Bassini sixth, Banai seventh, Marini eighth, Sabi ninth, Quartararo 10th, Nakagami 11th, Agata 12th, Luti down to 13th in the end. Shocking from the Swiss rider. With Shorten for him. Ives Vinales grabs another point in 15th ahead of Danny Kemp with Locatelli at the back once again. So in the championship has really closed some of the last couple of races, with Alex Marquez back up to second after that victory and just 9 points behind his teammate and 10 points ahead. Miguel Oliveira, 16 points ahead of Patrick McDonald, who's got a very outside chance of winning this title, of the charging Marquez, and being 35 points behind Franco Morbidelli, over a race win behind with just 4 rounds remaining, just 100 points on offer. Then we got Bassini in 5th, 2 points ahead of Luti, and we got Xavi back into the top 10 ahead of Marini, who's back into the top 10 ahead, and they could go by a single point. Then you got Schrotter ahead of course, even though they're level on points, in 16th. As in the constructors standings, Cadillacs have virtually won the title. Just another result like they've had here, and they win it ahead of KTM, who are 84 points behind. Then we've got Suter in for 23 points ahead of Tech 3, with Speed Up in 5th. So McDonald is happy. He's got points off Morbidelli, but to come so close to victory, he'll be kicking himself. Was that the straw that broke the championship chances back? His teammate consolidates him, but he does earn all the reputation. So heading into the final 4 races of the season, I said McDonald needs to win out to maybe grab this title. Well, he's dropped 5 points in Aragon. Will he drop any in Japan and Australia and lose his title chances for this season in Moto2? Find out next time. So for watching, I'll see you then.